All right, so get this.
Okay.
We're going deep today.
Deep into...
Rooster communication.
Oh, cool.
You know, like why they crow.
Right. Cock-a-doodle-doo at the crack of dawn.
Right, exactly. But there's more to it. Way more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got this article from Quick Update,
Okay.
and it's got some really cool personal stories,
some stories.
from the author. But it also brings in some actual science, too.
Huh. Interesting.
It is. It's a good mix.
Yeah, it's cool when you get that blend of the personal touch with the actual research.
Totally.
So what does it say about why they crow?
Well, the author had this rooster, Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, get this.
Yeah.
Rocky would crow every single morning, like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, right on schedule.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. And you know what the article says?
Hmm.
That actually highlights a big thing about roosters.
What's that?
Their internal clock.
Their internal clock.
Yeah, it's not just like they see the sun and react to it. No, they actually anticipate the dawn. It's like...
Whoa, hold on. So you're telling me they have like a built-in alarm clock?
Exactly. And it's synced to the sun cycle. That's why they're so consistent.
Huh. Wow, I never thought of it like that.
It's pretty wild.
So it's not a reaction. It's more like...
Anticipation.
Yeah, anticipation.
But they don't just crow at dawn, do they?
Right.
They crow at other times, too.
That's true.
What about all that daytime crowing?
Yeah. See, that's more about territory, Dominance.
Oh, I see. Like,
It's like they're saying, hey, this is my turf.
this is my turf.
Right, exactly. And they're not exactly quiet about it either.
How loud are we talking?
90 decibels?
90 decibels. Wow, that's
That's like a lawnmower.
a lawnmower. Gee, so it's like a warning to other roosters.
Yeah, basically.
Like, stay away.
Stay away, this is my space.
A sonic fence post.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And what if there's more than one rooster?
Oh, then it gets interesting.
Interesting how...
It's like a crowing competition, each one trying to be louder.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it can get pretty intense.
So we've got the dawn crowing, the daytime turf wars. But what about the nighttime crowing?
Oh, right. The article mentioned that.
Yeah, why would they crow in the middle of the night?
Well, a lot of times it's because of
Because of threats,
threats. Yeah, like a predator, maybe, or even just a sudden noise, something that scares them.
So it's like...
Like an alarm.
Yeah, a warning to the others.
Exactly. Keep everyone safe.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Doesn't the article also say something about artificial light messing with them?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So like street lights and stuff
Right, things like that.
can make them crow at weird times?
Yeah, because they think it's dawn.
Because of the light.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Interesting.
It's all about those light cues.
So even in cities, you might hear a rooster crowing at night.
Exactly, and the author even suggests
Says yes.
minimizing that light pollution.
Right, to keep him on a more natural schedule.
Exactly.
So it's not just about understanding the rooster, it's about adjusting their environment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Makes you think,
It does.
crowing, it's not just noise, is it?
No, it's more than that.
It's like...
It's like they're communicating.
Exactly.
The article really digs into that.
Oh, yeah?
Different crows, different messages,
Like what?
warning calls, food signals, challenges to rivals, even calls to attract hens. It's like they have their own language. It's amazing.
Wait, so they're like multilingual?
Haha. Yeah, you could say that.
That is amazing. But wait, hold on. If they have all these different calls for different things,
Yeah.
could we maybe learn to understand them?
Like speak rooster.
Speak rooster.
That's a great question. Leads us to some really interesting possibilities.
It does, doesn't it?
But before we get into that, we should talk about some of the myths out there about roosters.
Myths. Oh, I love a good myth busting.
Me too. So let's bust some myths.
Let's do it. What do we got?
Well, first off, there's this idea that they only crow in the morning.
Right, the classic cock-a-doodle-doo at dawn.
Exactly, but as we've seen, they crow all day long and sometimes even at night.
So it's way more than just a sunrise serenade.
Right, it's all about the context.
Okay, what else? What other myths are we busting today?
Well, there's the one about all roosters being noisy.
Oh, right. Everyone thinks they're all loudmouths.
Yeah, but the author actually mentions
He mentions.
he had another rooster,
Oh, boo.
Buster.
Okay.
Yeah, and Buster was much quieter.
So it's not just a rooster thing. It's more like
More about their personality, maybe even their breed.
some breeds are quieter.
Exactly, so much variation.
Okay, so we busted the only crow at dawn myth and the all roosters are loud myth.
Right.
What else?
Well, this one's a classic.
Oh.
That hens need a rooster to lay eggs.
Ugh. Yes, the rooster is the egg coach myth.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But that's just not true, is it?
Not at all. Hens lay eggs all on their own.
So the rooster's only needed if you...
If you want chicks.
Right, chicks, not just eggs.
Exactly.
Myth busted.
Busted.
Now, going back to that question you raised about understanding rooster language.
Ah, yes. Speaking rooster.
Speaking rooster. It's an exciting thought, isn't it?
It really is. And the article...
It
mentions each rooster has a unique crow.
Unique. How
like a fingerprint, their own individual sound.
Whoa.
Now imagine if we could figure out a way to analyze that.
Analyze it.
Yeah, like create a rooster-to-human dictionary.
A rooster-to-human dictionary. That's wild.
Right. Think of what we could learn.
Everything. Their social stuff, their warnings, maybe even their feelings.
It's a fascinating idea.
It is.
Like unlocking a secret code.
Exactly, but that's going to take a lot of work.
It will. Lots of research.
And some serious audio analysis, too.
Oh, for sure. But the potential, it's huge.
It really is. It makes you wonder what other animal languages are out there
that we could learn.
Yeah, what secrets are we missing out on?
It's a great question, one that people have been pondering for ages.
It is, but for now, let's stick with our roosters.
Right, back to the crowing.
We've talked about why they crow and how.
Yeah.
But what about the more practical side of things?
Practical? How so?
Like, what if you have a rooster that's, a bit too vocal?
The noisy rooster problem.
Yeah, it's a real issue, especially if you've got neighbors.
Right, people living close by.
Exactly. So what can you do? Didn't the article say something about that?
It did. And the first step, according to the author, is figuring out why the rooster's crowing so much.
So it's like
detective work.
Rooster detective work.
Exactly. You got to find the cause.
Then
you can find a way to maybe reduce the crowing.
So what are some of the strategies?
Well, if it's territorial, maybe you can
create some visual barriers,
between the roosters.
Yeah, so they don't feel the need to constantly compete.
So like some clever landscaping could help.
It could.
And what about the light, the artificial light?
Oh, yeah. If that's the problem, then the article suggests minimizing that.
So blackout curtains, stuff like that?
Exactly. Or even just using different light bulbs, warmer colors.
So it's about making their environment more natural.
Yeah, reducing those confusing cues.
And wasn't there something about different breeds?
Oh, right. Some breeds are just naturally quieter.
So it's like choosing a dog breed.
Kind of, yeah. Some are known for barking a lot.
And some are quieter.
Exactly. Same with roosters.
But if you're worried about noise...
choosing the right breed can make a big difference.
That makes sense. So we've got landscaping, lighting, and choosing the right breed.
Right.
Anything else?
Well, the author also talks about the importance of patience.
Observation.
Like really paying attention to the rooster.
Exactly, because sometimes small changes can make a big difference.
Interesting.
It's about working with their instincts, not against them.
It's like building a relationship,
Yeah, one based on respect and understanding.
I like that. It's a good way to think about it.
And who knows, maybe the better we understand their crowing,
the better we can
live with them in a more harmonious way.
I like that. It's a good reminder that we share this world
with so many other creatures.
And maybe, just maybe, if we listen closely enough,
we can learn to really appreciate them.
And coexist peacefully.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is. It is.
And on that note,
I
think it's time for a break.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back to explore more about rooster communication and delve into some listener questions.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about,
speaking rooster.
Yeah, speaking rooster, like actually understanding their language.
Right, decoding those crows.
It's mind-blowing, all these different meanings.
The article doesn't go into too much detail, but it does hint at some fascinating possibilities.
Like what?
Well, the author says he could actually... tell the difference between certain types of crows just by listening.
Really?
Yeah, he could tell if it was a warning call.
Wow.
Or a food call.
So they're not all the same?
Not at all. There's real nuance there.
So it's not just one cock-a-doodle-doo for everything.
Right. It's different situations, different crows.
That's incredible. And remember,
each
rooster has its own unique crow.
Right, like a fingerprint.
So imagine if we could actually analyze those individual crow patterns.
We could maybe create a rooster-to-human dictionary.
A dictionary, wow.
Yeah, so we could finally understand what they're trying to tell us.
Their warnings, their social cues.
Maybe even their emotions, who knows?
That would be a game changer.
It would, wouldn't it?
It would revolutionize how we interact with them.
Absolutely, although it would take a lot of research, obviously.
Oh, yeah, a ton of research.
And some very sophisticated audio analysis.
But the potential payoff, it's huge.
Huge.
It's like...
It's like opening up a whole new world of understanding.
It makes you wonder, what other animal languages are out there?
Just waiting to be deciphered.
What secrets are we missing?
It's exciting to think about.
But for now, let's bring it back to our roosters.
Okay.
We've talked about why they crow, how they crow.
Yeah.
But what about the practical stuff?
Practical stuff.
Like, what if you have a rooster that's just too noisy?
Ah, the age-old problem.
Right. Especially if you've got close neighbors.
People don't always appreciate the rooster's enthusiasm.
Uh-huh. No, they don't. So what can you do? Any tips from the article?
There are, actually.
Yeah.
And the author stresses the importance of figuring out the reason for the crowing.
So, like, why is this rooster making so much noise?
Exactly. Is it territorial? Is it a threat response?
Or is it just a chatty rooster?
Could be. Some are just more vocal than others.
So once you figure out the why...
Then you can start to address the issue.
So what are some of the strategies?
Well, if it's a territory thing, maybe you can
You
create some visual barriers between the roosters.
Like fences or something?
Could be. Anything that breaks up their line of sight.
So they don't feel the need to constantly compete?
Right. Reduce those dominance displays.
Makes sense. And what about the light thing we talked about?
Oh, yeah. If artificial light is messing with their internal clock,
Right. Making them think it's dawn.
then the key is minimizing that light.
So blackout curtains in the coop?
Could help, yeah. And maybe redirecting any outdoor lights.
So they're not shining directly on the coop.
Exactly. And you can also try using light bulbs with warmer colors.
Warmer colors.
Yeah, it can make a difference.
So it's all about creating a more natural light environment.
Right. Less confusion for the rooster.
And we talked about breeds too, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about breed selection.
Top for quieter.
Much quieter.
So if you're concerned about noise,
Choosing the right breed is crucial.
like choosing a quiet dog breed.
Exactly. It's a similar concept.
Okay, so we've got landscaping, lighting, breed selection,
Mm-hmm.
anything else.
Well, the author also emphasizes the importance of patience.
Patience, right?
Sometimes it takes time to figure things out.
And to see what works.
And he also talks about observation.
So really paying attention to your rooster.
Exactly, because sometimes little things can make a big difference.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's the placement of the food.
Or the roosting bars.
Could be. You just have to observe and experiment
It's about understanding their needs,
and respecting their instincts.
not just trying to shut them up,
Right. It's about finding a balance.
like a compromise.
Yeah, a way for everyone to live harmoniously.
I like that. It's a great philosophy.
It is, and it applies to so many things in life, not just roosters.
It's a reminder that we share this world with other creatures.
And each one has its own way of communicating.
Maybe if we listen closely enough
We can learn to understand each other.
and coexist peacefully.
Exactly.
That's a powerful thought.
It is. It is.
And on that note,
Yeah.
why don't we move on to the last part of our deep dive?
Sounds good to me.
We'll be right back to wrap things up and explore some final thoughts.
Can't wait.
We're back and still diving deep into the world of rooster communication.
It's amazing how much we've learned from just this one article.
I know, right? It's really got me thinking.
Garth.
Well, there's this part about the author's two roosters.
Oh, yeah, Rocky and Buster.
Yeah, Rocky and Buster, and how different they were.
Totally different personalities.
Exactly. And it seems like that really affected how much they crowed.
It did, didn't it? Rocky was the real chatterbox.
Always going on.
And Buster, well, he was more reserved,
Oh, yeah.
only crowed when he had to.
It's like some roosters are just naturally quieter.
It really challenges that stereotype, doesn't it?
Yeah, that all roosters are these loud, noisy birds.
Some are definitely more laid back.
Makes you wonder if there's like a genetic component to it.
A genetic component.
Yeah, like are some breeds just predisposed to being quieter?
That's a great question. The article doesn't really get into the genetics.
But it does mention that some breeds are known for being quieter.
It does. It would be fascinating to explore that further, wouldn't it?
It would. Imagine if we could
Yeah.
breed roosters for specific temperaments, like we do with dogs.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting idea.
Right, like guardian roosters with super loud warning calls.
Or protect the flock.
Or maybe companion roosters with softer crows.
More melodic, perhaps?
Yeah, melodic. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would, although, of course,
Of course.
there are ethical considerations to think about.
Always.
But it's fascinating to think about the possibilities.
It is. It really is.
From simple crowing to selective breeding, we've come a long way.
We have. It's amazing how much we've uncovered.
just from listening to those rooster calls.
Sometimes the most familiar sounds can be the most surprising.
That's a good point. We often take the sounds of nature for granted.
We do, but there's so much to learn if we really pay attention.
Like a whole secret language just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly, and you never know where that discovery might lead.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's your biggest takeaway? What will you remember most?
For me, it's the realization that even something as simple as a rooster crowing can be a window into a whole complex world of communication.
Well said, and I hope our listeners feel the same.
I hope so too. Maybe the next time they hear a rooster crow,
Yeah.
they'll listen a little closer, think a little deeper.
And appreciate those feathered friends a little more.
Exactly, because it's not just noise.
It's a language, a story.
A reminder that we share this world with so many incredible creatures.
Creatures that have so much to teach us.
If only we take the time to listen.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for this deep dive.
I think so too.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration into the world of rooster communication.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, keep your ears open.
And your mind's curious.
You never know what fascinating secrets you might uncover.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.